iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome in here, race fans, to the Auto Club Speedway. They call it sunny California, but tonight the stars are out as the lights are on. We will race under the lights here at the Auto Club Speedway. The Auto Club Speedway, well, in the real world side of things, may have seen its last race on the 2-mile configuration. The track looking to be developed, half the land for housing and warehouses, and the other half for a brand new facility. But here on iRacing, we race here tonight in the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Scrambler Series presented by Red Light Racing on the big 2-mile track here at the virtual Auto Club Speedway, and to bring you all the racing action. My name is Roger Muth, high above the virtual studios here tonight as we get ready to go racing. Just 2 races left in the regular season, and it's right here on Auto Club, and it's down the road at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. So things are getting to look a little bit more like playoff racing. What do those playoffs look like? Well, Max Terriel, Chris Hammond, DJ Anderson, James Skelton, along with Zach Mitchell, know that they are going playoff dancing. The other drivers that are currently in and some that are on the bubble. Michael Trevarthen looks good on points. Ethan Troutman looks pretty good on points. Sean Single's looking good. And then these drivers right there on the bubble from 8th on to 12th. Richard Murdoch, Jeffrey Souza, Sean Butler, and Cole Day. Drivers that are on the outside looking in, just 4 points out. Dalton Williamson, 7 points. Joshua Buckley. And then it's Tony Strano and Brandon Feeney, 13th through 16th. So those drivers are looking to have a heck of a night here tonight at Auto Club, possibly being able to pick up a win. Last time the series was on the track, it was at the Irwindale Speedway, where Chris Hammond was able to go to victory lane. Will he be able to repeat here tonight at the big 2-mile track at Auto Club, or will we have a new winner that will lock himself in and really start to shuffle the point standings up? But it's time to go trackside here tonight, though, to get the starting lineup. Starting lineup will look like this, brought to us by our friends at SimBox. Get your custom button box made today over at SimBox PC. Look them up on Facebook.com. Starting on the front row, he drives car number 6. Well, he'll have a heck of a starting spot here tonight. That'll be Chris Hammond. His outside is 4X Racing teammate, car number 8. That'll be Zach Mitchell. How about the man back in third? It's the number 2 out of Florida, the Rev Esports driver, Michael Trevarthen will start right there. And the driver that'll start into the 4th spot, the young engineer, car number 99. That'll be Cole Day. He's the last car in on points. We'll look for that 99 out there onto the speedway tonight. James Skelton's back after a fishing outing last week in car number 86. He'll start in 5th. Joe Strano in car number 43 will start there into the 6th starting spot here tonight. Well, how about Ethan Troutman? He is the only driver in competition here tonight that has completed and started every race. So every race he has started, he's completed every lap of that race. We'll see if he can keep that streak rolling here tonight. He'll roll off 7th. Roy Fernandez with his best qualifying effort since joining the series in car number 69, the Cuban Missile, will start into the 8th spot. 9th will be the Storm from the North of Max Terriel. He'll pilot into the number 42 here tonight and start in 9th. 10th will be the little 2-cent single entry, Shanika Single. Will start 10th, while DJ Anderson and car 51 will start into the 11th spot. Jeffrey Souza will start back in 12th here tonight. 13th on the call, the 88 is Sean Butler's back here tonight. He will start into position 13. Richard Murdoch having a heck of a couple of weeks. He'll start into the 14th spot, while Brandon Feeney back there in 15th. Craig Schwartz in car number 22 will start into the 16th spot, while Jason Wells in the 64 will go 17th on the call here tonight. 18th will be Kevin O'Brien in the 184. Joshua Buckley in Granite Walkers and Canes entry 19th. 20th then will be Dalton Williamson in the 61. 21st will go to the 4X Racing. Ryan O'Donnell out of Michigan, piloting the number 98. He'll start 21st. Donald Bennett out of Kutztown, Pennsylvania, in the number 31 will start 22nd. Tony Strano back in car number 3 will start 23rd. Tim Williams in 24th. Dustin Gady in the 25th spot. Rob Higgins in truck number 40. That'll be 26th for Rob Higgins. Bob Higgins in the Checkered Flag Auto Supply 20-year anniversary number 30 will start 27th. And the final truck on the call here tonight. When we come out of turn 4, we'll drop the hammer here tonight for these drivers. It'll be 65 laps at the 2-mile raceway here at Auto Club. Green flag is up. Here we go racing tonight. Big gap in the middle portion of the field. Drivers going to be able to make some moves down here going into turn number 1. Down into 1, though, it'll be Chris Hammett leading off the turn number 2 down the back straightaway. The drivers are storming sideways, though, for the number 6 of Chris Hammett. That 8 machine of Zach Mitchell with a heck of a run. Look at him, just about 3 wide back there. Shanika Single going to be shot into the middle. Here comes Max Terrill on the bottom, and that is Jeffrey Souza to the outside. Oh, contact Souza into the 69 of Fernandez. Fernandez was so sideways that he was able to see the drivers coming at him. The 69 of Fernandez gathered it back up, but he will lose a ton of positions here on lap number 1 after having a top 5 qualifying effort here tonight. The Cuban Missile going to have to try and rebound here. Lap number 1 will go to Zach Mitchell as he takes command of this race down in turns number 1 and 2. That'll leave the battle now for the second spot with truck number 2 of Michael Trevorthan to the inside, and the number 6 of Chris Hammett working the outside of the Speedway as they work down the back straightaway here on lap number 2. The outside lane seems to be a little bit dominant here in the early laps of this one here. As you see the 6 of Chris Hammett. He takes that second spot. Now he'll dive back to the bottom side, give a little draft help to the number 2 of Michael Trevorthan. Hands, focused, eyes there on that number 2 machine. The 99, a cold day, working the outside of the Speedway here, trying to see if he can get it rolling. Zach Mitchell just set the fastest lap time of the night. Last time by, here comes James Skelton also. See the 6, Chris Hammett will slide up in front of the number 2. So it'll be Mitchell, it'll be Day, Hammett, and Trevorthan. Right now, your top 4, with James Skelton trying to get the Cayman's Boats entry in front of that number 43. Skelton was not able to clear the Road Rage Accessories number 43 at the line, though, by the splitter of that truck. It was going to be the number 86. Right behind them, though, is Ethan Troutman, Jeffrey Souza. We saw him in the opening lap get into the number 69 of Roy Fernandez as they were 3 wide back there. Everybody was able to gather it up and keep going. Fernandez is still out there. He is running 25th currently. Skelton still trying to work the bottom side here on Joe Strano. Strano holding very tight on that outside lane. A lot of racing room out here tonight. We've seen 3 wide, we've seen sideways, and we've seen this side-by-side battle now rage on for 3 laps. Cole Day has ran down the race leader. Also, Zach Mitchell and Cole Day are about to duke it out for the race lead. Remember, coming into the night, Cole Day was the driver that was on the bubble. He was 4 points to the good over Dalton Williamson, and now Cole Day had jet down to the inside, down the back straightaway. He'll try to take the race lead off into turn number 3. The Rockstar Energy 99 of Cole Day will surge ahead, but here comes the Rich DPC number 8 machine. Zach Mitchell right back to the back tailgate of that number 99 machine as they storm off turn 4. It will be Cole Day leading the lap. One driver coming to pit road here. That'll be truck number 45, 45 of Tim Williams. Heavy contact on the right-hand side of that number 45. He'll come slowly to a stop on pit road. We'll see if he can continue here tonight. One truck out of line in the mid-pack there. You see the blue and yellow machine. That is the Ginger. That is Craig Schwartz. Schwartz running a very limited schedule here when his racing career does allow him to. You see him just slide up in front of the number 51 of DJ Anderson. Jeffrey Souza's been rolling that outside lane here for the last, call it 5 or so laps. He will get around the 86 of James Skelton. The outside just seems to have so much momentum that you're able to build up there and keep that truck wound up. Now, we did see Cole Day pass on the inside for the lead, but everybody else so far here tonight has pretty much made their passes up around the outside. Just shows how good of condition this track is in here tonight at the Virtual Auto Club Speedway. Now you see the 4 of Jeffrey Souza make a bid to the inside of Road Rage Accessories number 43 of Joe Strano. Strano's going to be... Oh, I thought he was going to be able to hold it right there, but it looks like he lifted down into turn 1, allowed the 4 of Jeffrey Souza to take that spot, sliding in there, slicing between that number 2 of Trevarthen and the 43 of Joe Strano. Couple tracks about the 13th, 14th, 15th position battling. That's the 88 of Sean Butler there in the number 88 machine. The RWB entry here tonight. Missed one race so far this season, but still finds himself inside the top 11. He is currently sitting 5 points ahead of Cole Day in that 11th position overall in the championship standings. Has not picked up a win just yet this season. Multiple championships with the series this season, though, has not been able to crack the, victory lane. He hasn't found that top spot yet at the end of one of these races. One of the all-time winningest drivers in the series. When you look at all-time wins with this series, Sean Butler actually sits second overall. He has 40 wins. The all-time winning driver, though, is the 42 of Max Terrill, who's running just one spot ahead. Right now, Max sitting into the 11th position. So you have your all-time winner and your second all-time highest winning driver running 11th and 12th currently here tonight. Who sits third overall on that all-times win list? Well, it's the fisherman of James Skelton. There you can see James Skelton. Cayman Boats, there is not much to say. He's a fisherman. He loves fishing. He does a lot of tournaments down in South Carolina. Travels around as you see a battle here now as the 62. The Greg's Pizza entry of Ethan Troutman. We talked about him earlier, being the only driver to complete every lap so far this season. So as these two battle it out, the battle for the race lead looks like that, nose to tail. And the first side-by-side battle was that 62 of Troutman and Skelton. The inside lane looks good for that Greg's Pizza entry. He'll slide right across the nose. That was close. That was very close for that number 62 of Troutman. That Reen Chevrolet Greg's Pizza entry out of Tennessee. Now you see everybody. Oh, one truck got tied off 4. That was the 22 of Schwartz. Here comes the 2-cent single. Shanika will now work the inside. Will Shanika be able to pick off that number 22 of Craig Schwartz? two trucks running side by side. The highest, well, running driver that's picked up the most spots is Craig Schwartz along with Jeffrey Souza. Both drivers have picked up 7 spots since the drop of the green flag here tonight. Both of those trucks are moving forward. There's Souza. He's been working the outside to perfection. Now this time down the front straightaway. He'll get right to the back bars there, the number 2 of Michael Trevarthen. Trevarthen to go to the inside here with a huge run. Will he be able to pick up any spots? Picks up 1, and he'll be able to slide in front of the Rich DPC's number 8 machine. So it's a Chevrolet followed by 4 Fords, then a Chevy, and Toyota. First Toyota here tonight, only 2 of them in the field. James Skelton running back into the 8th spot now. As you continue to watch the battle for P number 2, here comes that Rich DPC's number 8 of Zach Mitchell. So Mitchell not just willing to roll over and say, yeah, you can take my position here. One driver with a scrape of the outside wall. That was the number 2 of Michael Trevarthen. We'll see if there's any damage on that machine here. Not seeing any, but that doesn't mean there's not a crinkle on the fender or somewhere. We'll keep an eye on that truck to see if that truck's able to hold song and dance with Rockstar Energy number 99 of Cole Day. Couple trucks out of line. The Greg's Pizza entry still of Ethan Troutman trying to claw his way up inside the top 5. Right now he's working to the inside. Number 43 of Joe Strano. Strano in that Road Rage Accessories entry. These 3 drivers here from Strano and Troutman and Skelton, they've just kind of been working together sideways. A little bit of a bob and weave action back there. Schwartz and Single. It looked like Schwartz was getting a little bit of a push there from the number 11, Sean Single. And that 22, the rear tires were jacked up, lifted off the ground. So Cartoon Network, Fred Flintstone entry trying to work his way and trying to get back into that 2nd spot. Rich DPC's entry will dive down. We'll look at Troutman. He'll carry a lot of speed in 3. Well, the truck got a little tight off turn 4, so now it's going to give the run back to Zach Mitchell. He'll be able to drive down the banking, creating more speed, more momentum for that number 8 machine, but the draft for that number 2 just pulls Trevarthen right back down the front straightaway. Good battles all over the Speedway here tonight. John Single and Craig Schwartz still going at it in the battle inside the top 3. Now Schwartz going to take that spot back again. Here comes Souza working the outside. He's the one that got these 2 running side by side. Those 2 being Trevarthen and Zach Mitchell. Now Mitchell is the one that looks like the inside lane is giving way a little bit here on lap number 16. Souza will be able to take that spot now. Zach Mitchell will slide up in front of his teammate there, the driver of truck number 6. That is Chris Hammett. Look at the bottom guy going catfishing down there, James Skelton. Big block that time by Souza off the corner. Now here comes Mitchell. He'll work to the outside. Very bumpy down the back straightaway there. These trucks jockeying all around the Speedway. Looks like Cole Day is going to come to pit road here. He's going to bring a slew of them with him. Look at everybody trying to get the pit road. Oh, Souza turned. Souza got turned coming to pit road. Over half the field coming down pit road right here. You see them all. Looks like Souza and Fernandez having some problems also. James Skelton, Ethan Troutman, Sean Butler stay out. The field is broken up here. Question being, when do these drivers all come to pit road? Because lap 17 into 18 was when the rest of the field pitted. Now it looks like here comes everybody else. They will come to pit road. Following, oh, one driver hard into the wall there. That was the 15 of Dustin Gainey. He will have to take a tow to pit road. Gainey's night will be over. Unfortunate for him. There you see Skelton. Nobody out on track. Everybody has come to pit road. That should turn things over to the 99 of Cole Day. A little slow on his pit stop, but he is that. Oh, sideways for the 99. The 99 of Cole Day just got crossed up. That's going to allow the number 2 of Michael Trevarthen to get right to the back bumper. Trevarthen not going to waste any time. He'll go to the inside. So a little bobble, a little mistake by that 99 of Cole Day will hand now. I believe the race lead should go to the number 2 of Michael Trevarthen. Where's James Skelton? There he is as he's coming off of pit road. The full head of steam coming from that number 2 machine. So it might be Skelton. A great pit stop for James Skelton. 2 seconds faster on pit lane for James Skelton, and that will net him the race lead. That's how you get it done on and off of pit road. James Skelton went from running about the 7th position coming into pit road. He might get past here, as it looks like he will, by Trevarthen and Day. But he's going to be right there with the top 2, so he'll be slotted into 3rd for the time being. But the battle is not over with just yet. One driver coming back to pit road. That'll be the 64 of Jason Wells. So he is back in pit road here. You see Skelton just backs it off a little bit. So it's Trevarthen, it's Day, and Skelton. We talked about how it was a 2-second difference. There's only one other driver in the field that was down into the 48-second bracket, and that was Sean Butler. Butler went from running 11th coming to pit road to now running 6th. So just by 2 seconds can net you about 6 positions or so. Fastest lap of the race will go to the 43 of Joe Strano. He just turned that here on lap number 21. Strano running a 40.47 second lap. Zach Mitchell, who came in as one of the top 3 drivers, is now back to running at 9th. Cole Day back to the bottom here. He'll try to take the race lead. Cole Day and Michael Trevarthen are no strangers from running side by side with each other. They may not run a lot of asphalt racing together, but this past season they had hopped in big block modifieds here on iRacing.com, and they had ran a league together. Trevarthen wanted to try something that was out of his comfort zone, something that was a little challenging. Well, he hopped into those big block modifieds where Cole Day had dominated a couple seasons ago. And, well, Trevarthen did pretty darn good for his first season on the dirt side of things. A lot of throttle control, he said. He said he learned a lot about just being able to keep your car in control. Sometimes it's not all about mashing the gas and keeping it pinned flat to the floor. Sometimes you got to save a little bit, lift a little bit, and you go faster. So he learned that through the off-season of running on dirt. And then Cole Day, after that dirt season, said, well, if Michael Trevarthen can come out and run dirt, I can run asphalt again. So Cole Day transitioned back here, running a very part-time schedule last season with Red Light Racing towards the end of the season. This year turned into a full campaign for that number 99 at Cole Day, and now Cole Day finds himself on the bubble of being able to make it in to the playoffs for the first time in his career. We'll see, because right now, if this race were to end, it would be Cole Day going to victory lane, and that would put him automatically into at least the first round of the playoffs. See Trevarthen try to go to the bottom. He should be able to take the race lead back, and he will do that. And these trucks here are punching such a big hole in the draft here. That Ethan Troutman entry there, you see the 62. Look out front there. Those trucks are running side by side. What does that mean? Well, that means there's a big sucker hole pulling this number 62, Greg Pizza Chevrolet, back towards the front of the leaders. A 1 second gap right now from Troutman to Michael Trevarthen, which means he has that big draft, that big sucker hole. This lower truck here, that is Kevin O'Brien in the 184. You can see there's some damage to the 184. He's working the bottom side of the speedway, trying to stay out of the way of the race leaders. Under a second now for Troutman. Picked off about a 1/10 of a second last time by. Everybody going to try and find some racing room around Kevin O'Brien. And, well, I think the 42 of Max Terriot was sideways off turn number 2. He was able to gather it back up and keep it all underneath him. Cold Day falling back now to third as the Cayman Boats Toyota will pick up the second spot. So it's a Ford leading the way, followed by a Toyota, and then a slew of Chevrolets from third all the way back to the sixth spot. And then it's going to be another Ford, Chevrolet, Chevrolet, and a Toyota inside the top 12. Being told there's some damage on the number 99 of Cold Day. Right front damage here going to hamper that machine here the rest of the way. This is a big aerodynamic dependent track here at the Auto Club Speedway. As you see, it was a 3-horse race. Now it's a 4-horse race, and you might as well pencil everybody else in that's just behind them. Soon to be about the top 10, all wrapped up here in this main pack. Brandon Feeney trying to make some moves in the auto tire and safeties. Number 38, he's underneath Shanika Single. Single has fallen outside the top 10 here. We were talking about how Sean Single and Craig Schwartz kept going back and forth with each other. Craig Schwartz is a little bit down the running order now, too, after the first round of pit stops. Schwartz is all the way back here now into the 17th position. A very slow stop for Craig Schwartz, about 8 seconds longer than everybody else in his pit stall. And you can tell there's some damage on the back end of that iconic yellow and blue flame, number 22. There's Joshua Buckley just behind him. Roy Fernandez, also a little bit deeper into the field, has not been able to rebound here tonight. The Black Rifle Coffee, number 69. Fernandez, the driver out of Lansing, Michigan. Got into it with that. Well, there's the Ford truck. Him and Souza made a little contact on the opening lap as that 69 got sideways in turn 3. And since then, it's just not been the same truck that 69 qualified up into the top half of the field. Souza is right there. One driver that's back down coming out of pit road. Now Kevin O'Brien making his second stop here tonight, the 184. A couple drivers out of tonight's race. Dustin Gainey in truck number 15, and the Canadian Bacon Eater of Tim Williams is out of this race. Tony Strano losing a spot there. Shanika Single going to go to the inside here. Shanika trying to pass up Ryan O'Donnell, but the outside been dominant. And looks like O'Donnell might be able to power it back up. He's got Feeney coming with a head of steam behind him. Should be able to push him to the promised land back around that number 11 of Shanika Single. Cold Day having some problems inside the top 5. He was third, now he's running 5th. As Ethan Troutman and Max Terriot, him and Terriot actually side by side now. Oh boy, hang on to her. That back straightaway, all those bumps, everybody hanging on. Cold Day on that outside, but remember the damage to the right front. That camera angle, we can tell here from the booth, does have just a little slight crinkle at the top of that quarter panel where the Goodyear logo would go on the body. That's where the damage is. There's that 88. We talked about Max and Sean being the all-time winners in the series as they approach the halfway point. The cream starting to rise to the top yet again here tonight. Just got around Cold Day, so that'll put a big move there from Murdoch from top shelf to the bottom shelf, all the way down the banking. He's got that new VR headset just a couple weeks back, and well, ever since then, that 01 has been on a fire. It's been on a tear, if you will. So they all sorted out. Joe Strano, Zach Mitchell back here. Two drivers out of the Midwest, we'll call it. Northern Midwest. The Road Rage Accessories entry Very fast in practice session, very fast here in qualifying, and so far has been able to hang inside the top 10. But the question being, will that Wisconsin native be able to finish off here tonight? See the 64 just behind him, that is Jason Wells. Wells not on the lead lap. He had to serve a penalty. I believe the penalty was unsafe entry back onto the racing surface. So that drug him down pit road. Second round of pit stops looking to be coming because there is the number 4 of Souza back on pit road. So that'll be the second time he's been to pit road. And now here comes Chris Hammett. Hammett way down on the inside, very easily coming to pit road. This is on lap number 34. So yeah, right around schedule, maybe a lap early. A couple other drivers coming down pit road, Craig Schwartz, Roy Fernandez. Pass for the race lead, though. Now James Skelton will insert himself P number 1. So Skelton's got the boat unloaded here tonight, and, well, Ethan Troutman's got the pizza. Wonder if fish will eat pizza. Javarth and Mitchell and Day all coming to pit road here. They're going to bring along Williamson, Oldani, Bennett, all to pit road. Little varying strategies from the first time we saw drivers come to pit road. First time everybody came to pit road, it was more like 3/4 of the field coming all at once. Still going to need one more pit stop here tonight after this one. So now that a quarter of the field came last time by, and about another quarter of the field came a couple laps before that, when do we see the rest of the field? Joe Strano, Sean Single will peel off, and they will head to pit road and bring down Joshua Buckley along with the number 3 of Tony Strano. So another 4 drivers this time by. Looking at it, a pretty uneventful pit stop for the first group of cars here tonight. Still waiting on the next 7 drivers. Skelton, Troutman, Terrill, Butler, Murdoch, Anderson, and Feeney. And here they come. They're going to drive it hard onto pit road. Downshifting for Skelton. He'll find pit road speed. One driver staying out there in that exchange. Everybody but one driver came to pit road right there. The 42 of Max Terrell is the driver that stays out. There you see Max. Problems. Caution flag. Caution as the 13 of Joshua Buckley has had problems. There you see the driver out of Pepperell, Massachusetts. Coming out of pit road. Looks like he had lost it. And the Granny Hips Walkers and Canes entry lost those tennis balls right out from underneath that walker. I have to take a look here and see what exactly happened. That'll be great for Max Terrill, as he was the only driver yet to come to pit road. And Josh Buckley right there. It looks like something maybe locked up in the rear end. And around spun the 13MA. Triggers the caution lights. Let's listen. Right there, yep, missed a gear. Missed a gear trying to come up through the gearbox. Watch from onboard Tony Strano. Strano barely able to miss the spinning 13. Want to talk about a lonely pit road? Two trucks that come into pit road right there is Jason Wells and Kevin O'Brien. They are not on the lead lap. The only lead lap machine coming to pit road right here is Max Terriel. Brandon Feeney, I do believe, may have got the wave around. We're going to have to check and make sure where all the scoring was, because some of these drivers were trying to come back out onto the raceway after their pit cycle, and some of these drivers, well, maybe got a lap down here. We're going to have to take a look here in just a moment and see where all these drivers will funnel in. I'm being told that is the correct running order. So it will be James Skelton, Ethan Troutman, Sean Butler, Richard Murdoch, DJ Anderson, Max Terriot, who just pitted, so he'll have the freshest tires, and he'll start in 6th. Then it is Brandon Feeney and Michael Trevarthen, so 8 trucks on the lead lap. Everybody else is a lap down, but they will take a wave around. All the trucks that you see out in front of the 86 of Skelton, they will get waved around here. So I'm trying to see who's that last truck. I believe it's Rob Higgins. So everybody from the 9th position to the 21st position will get a wave around here. They will come back on the lead lap as long as they do not pit. If they pit, they will get trapped a lap down. If they stay out, which it looks like a lot of these drivers are, they will get waved around. Those drivers that should get waved around are Chris Hammett, Zach Mitchell, Cole Day, Joe Strano, Shanika Single, Dalton Williamson, Ryan O'Donnell, Craig Schwartz, Jeffrey Souza, Donald Bennett, Roy Fernandez, Joshua Buckley, and Rob Higgins. And as you see them here, them all gathering up speed. That's because they were given the 1-to-go marker, and that means all those drivers can go ahead and pass the iRacing.com pace car. They will come back around here. The rest of the field that you see right here, they will double them up, and they are ready to go. Skelton, Troutman, Butler, Murdoch, Anderson, Terriel, and Feeney, along with Michael Trevarthen. So a good one so far here tonight, and, well, I'd say sunny California, but the lights are on, the sun is gone, and we're racing. We'll go back racing here. We'll have 40 laps officially completed out of the 65 scheduled to run here. Remember, it's tonight and it's next week. Next week, we head to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, the NASCAR Next Generation Cup car. Well, the Cup car of today, I guess you can really say. 90 laps. It'll be all or nothing for the drivers that are not inside the top 12 in points or who have already picked up wins. It'll be the final chance for somebody to lock themselves in and bump some drivers out. Lights are off. Pace car making the left-hand turn. Green flag in the air, and everybody coming up as you see a long line down to the inside. All those wave-around trucks had to stay single file till they got to the start-finish line, and then they fan out all around the track. Skelton on that inside lane with the number 62 to the outside, and we've seen a lot of passes to the outside. But James Skelton will powerhouse that Toyota to the front. But here comes Sean Butler. Can the Butler make his way to the point? He'll work the bottom side of the speedway. Butler and Team RWB trying to take the top spot for the first time here tonight. Will he lead at the line? Dead heat. They are saying it was James Skelton at the line. Look who is also up here in the mix. Where did he come from? The whiteout. Number 51 of DJ Anderson. He is right here also now in the late goings of this one. 24 laps. We are just shy of being able to make it on fuel here tonight. So these drivers are going to give it everything she's got. I bet we see some varying strategies at the end of this one. Sean Butler trying to lead the first laps of the evening for that 88 machine. He'll be able to slide in front of James Skelton. Skelton going to try to get through, but he's going to get boxed in because there's the 51 of DJ Anderson just hanging off that left rear quarter panel. Before Jeffrey Souza banging on the back bars there. That tailgate of that number 22 of Craig Schwartz. 61 Williamson right there. There's Ryan Donnie. He is right there. This is all the battles from 13th, 14th, all the way through the 18th position. Oh, Ryan Donnie for a big move there, yanking it off the wall. So Jeffrey Souza making it past that number 22 of Craig Schwartz, and see if he can go back now and try and get some spots. 22 to go. There's the race leader. Sean Butler holding on to it right now. We'll see if he can run away and hide, because DJ Anderson and James Skelton are now side by side. Now it's going to be Skelton taking the momentum and keeping it. Brandon Feeney to the inside of the 99 of Cole Day. Feeney having a good day inside the top 10 here. The Feeney call, and no, Feeney, we did not forget about you. We just did not send you your little neon video. It's done. We just forgot to send it to you. So Feeney trying to work over the 43 of Joe Strano. Not going to have it happen. So Feeney losing 2 spots there. He's got his left side front tire on the apron. And it kind of upset the truck. Lost the 10th spot to Sean Single. Lost the 11th spot to Joe Strano. Feeney finds himself back there. Murdoch, though, looking to dig here tonight. Get a couple spots late in this one. Looks like he has a little rear spoiler damage on the Adventure in Pixel 01 entry. Maybe it's just the way the light is hit. Nope, he definitely has some right side spoiler damage on that 01. Tried to block the advances there by that 42 of Max Terriel. Terriel going to the outside. Murdoch way down low. Kevin O'Brien is back on pit road again in the 184 entry as we watch this battle here between Murdoch and Terriel. Chris Hammett is right there, so was Zach Mitchell. Cole Day in the damage 99 is sitting right behind them with just 20 to go. It'll be 19 laps remaining here when we come back around. Joe Strano trying to pick off a spot from Sean Single. Sean Single and James Skelton having we're calling a funny conversation. They were saying, what if one of us may bring a Denny Hamlin machine to the racetrack, and what if one of us bring a Ross Chastain paint job to the racetrack and we start laying onto each other? And all right, kind of funny, but we're not in Martinsville. That would have been a great spot for it, too. But I guess it could be anywhere. Remember Gateway what was that, last year? Between Ross Chastain and Denny Hamlin. That was a good show, if you will. If you were a Denny Hamlin fan, maybe you didn't think it was that good of a show. In about 2, possibly 3 laps, the pit window is going to open here tonight for these drivers, that they might be able to pit to go the rest of the way on their fuel. Question is, will they run a lap or 2 extra to save in case there's a late race yellow in this one? Everybody is still chasing the 88 of Sean Butler. Skelton is able to pull right to the back bumper, but does not seem like he wants to pass. It seems like he is very content just sitting there. Saving fuel and staying right with the leader may be what Skelton's trying to do. And possibly, if the leader comes to pit road, you might see Skelton dive down with, and he's been known to play some strategy a time, 2, or, well, a lot. Everybody pretty much single file at this point. A couple drivers coming right now to pit road. There is Brandon Feeney and Jeffrey Souza. With 16 to go, they will start the cycle here. They will pit first. Question being, will it be 2 tires, 4 tires, or is it just going to be a fuel-only stop for those 2 trucks? We'll keep an eye, as they are the first ones to come to pit road. They are going to set the tone for the rest of this field. A lot of times here on iRacing, the first ones to pit road are the drivers that will get the advantage. But we will see, because they were outside the top 10 when they came to pit road. Looks like it was right side tires and fuel for Jeffrey Souza. More drivers coming to pit road here. Craig Schwartz, Roy Fernandez will come to pit road. Brandon Feeney did take 4 tires on the 38 machine. See Souza coming out of pit road. He did only put 2 tires on in fuel. He will go a lap down still to the race leaders. So even 2 tires in fuel will put you right on the cusp of going a lap down for a lot of these drivers. Nobody out of the front group coming to pit road. Zach Mitchell will. He'll pit from the 8th spot. Coming to get 14 to go. He'll pit. Joshua Buckley also coming to pit road. Let's see if he can keep the tennis balls up underneath him this time and come out of pit road. See that 4 of Souza trying to utilize the draft also. That's one of those things I was thinking about as he came to pit road with just one other truck, and then they were not on the same strategy. Souza having to, well, if you come out and you don't have any draft, these trucks very, very dependent on the draft. Here comes Murdoch. Murdoch will come to pit road. He'll give up his 5th running spot. Very slow to pit road, but here's Chris Hammett, Cole Day, Ryan O'Donnell, Donald Bennett. All coming to pit road. Bennett a little sideways there, almost facing the inside wall. So now those are a lot of the drivers inside the top 5. Does that pull anybody to pit road? There's the 4 of Souza. He will unlap himself. Put that number 4 back onto the lead lap now. John Butler and James Skelton say nope, they're going to stay out. DJ Anderson will pit with 13 to go. He'll drag the Road Rage Accessories. 43 of Joe Strano. Strano around in pit road. Other trucks coming to pit road. There was the 61 of Dalton Williamson, and there was Rob Higgins. Right on board with Joe Strano. Sounded like he downshifted one too many times. That truck wheel hopped and just couldn't get it back underneath. And race leader to pit road, Sean Butler, Ethan Troutman, Shanika Single. All coming right here. That will leave James Skelton and Max Terriot, the last 2 trucks to come to pit road. When do they come? Do they stay out here on the long run? The 6, Chris Hammett, trying to get his lap back. He's running into the 9th spot after a pit stop. A lot of 2-tire stops through the field here. Looks like James Skelton will come to pit road this time, so Max Terriot will stay out. It'll be 10 to go. James Skelton from the lead to pit road. Battle off pit road there. It looks like Troutman had to lift out of the throttle almost into the quarter panel there of the 88. Zach Mitchell right now being scored in front of a lot of the drivers that came to pit road. We'll see where this all cycles back through, though. Max Terriot down the back straightaway. Does he come with coming to get 9 to go? He will not. Yes, he will. He's going to drive it in deep, though, into pit lane. And it looks like he will get down to pit road speed. So now everybody on the lead lap has been to pit road. Taking a look at it. Nobody so far has been popped by the pit road police. A lot of safe drivers on pit road here tonight following the laws at Auto Club. It might be Zach Mitchell as the race leader when this cycles through. We'll wait to see where Max comes out of. He's still on pit road right now. Max is on pit road. There is the 8 coming off of turn 4. Max is down and away, and Max will now hit the end of pit road right now. So there goes the 42. Here comes the 8 of Zach Mitchell. Mitchell will scream by on the outside. Zach Mitchell with 9 laps to go, and the Rich DPC's number 8 is your race leader. So it'll be Zach Mitchell, then it's Jeffrey Souza, but Souza's in a battle with Richard Murdoch, and there is Shanika Single, and then it is going to be the number 42 of Max Terriel. So it is anybody's ball game here late in this one, and drivers on varying strategies. Right now, if you're Richard Murdoch or Jeffrey Souza, you have to look at the distance and realize who's in front and who's behind. As they go to crossover, here goes the number 4 back down to the inside on Richard Murdoch. You got to think, though, if the more they run side by side, the drivers that are behind them, like Skelton and Terriel, who came to pit road later, the drivers that have fresher tires, they are going to start to chew into that gap, and they will be right there nipping on the heels at the end of this one. See Murdoch back down to the bottom. That's going to allow Sean Single. He is now closed in on this group. So this is a 3-car battle now for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Murdoch has it. Sean Single has the fresher 2 tires of the group. He will swing it way high and wide with Fred Flintstone on the nose. So it's a 4 and a Chevrolet, 2 4s, a Chevrolet, and a Toyota. Skelton, the highest running Toyota, back into the 6th spot right now, which is 7 laps remaining. 1.7 second gap for Zach Mitchell all the way back to Richard Murdoch. Now it's 2 seconds back to Jeffrey Souza from Zach Mitchell. Zach Mitchell already has a win here this season. Look at the 42 slice and dice. Max has the fresher tires of the group here with 6 laps to go. See, Souza's running the outside lane here, maybe trying to get the momentum down the back straightaway to hold off that 42, but the tire's too fresh on that 42. Max will take the 3rd spot. They're coming back this time, and they will see the high 5 in the air. It'll be 5 more times around, and the battle is all right here from 3rd on back. Still 1.6 seconds right now for Zach Mitchell over Richard Murdoch. So caution. Caution. Brandon Feeney around. Feeney was battling for the 15th position with 5 laps to go. Zach Mitchell looked like he was on his way to victory here tonight. Everybody hold the phone. This one will take us to overtime. Take a look at it, what happens to Brandon Feeney. Not sure if he lifted or what happened. Craig Schwartz right into the back of Brandon Feeney. Seemed like Schwartz was back to the throttle way before Feeney, and I'm looking at it, and they both had 4 fresh tires. Not sure if the Beefy Motorsports number 38. Schwartz lifted there, gave a burp on the throttle. Unfortunately, just too much rolling speed. As I'm a little confused here, but everybody coming to pit road, we're seeing if we can sort this out. Something happening to the number 8 of Zach Mitchell. Mitchell was being scored as the race leader when the caution flag came out, and he was on pit road about a minute ago, so he's actually being scored a lap down now. First one off pit road will be DJ Anderson. 2 tires and go for the 51 of DJ Anderson. There's a money stop here for a lot of these drivers. We'll sort that out in just a second. A couple drivers staying out here, though. About 5 drivers will stay out. So Richard Murdoch will be scored as the race leader. Take a look at it. That should be an accurate running order right now. So it should be Richard Murdoch, James Skelton, Sean Butler, Ethan Troutman, Joe Strano, all staying out. DJ Anderson putting on 2 tires. He'll come out running 6th. 7th for Max Terrell. He's got 4 tires. So does Jeffrey Souza, Shanika Single, Chris Hammett, Ryan O'Donnell. Cole Day into the 12th spot. Dalton Williamson 13th. Donald Bennett in 14th. Joshua Buckley in 15th. And 16th will be Michael Trevarthen, Craig Schwartz, Rob Higgins, Roy Fernandez, and Brandon Feeney, along with Tony Strano, all on the lead lap. So Strano back into the 21st spot here. We will get the 1 to go signal here. Looking at the bubble right now for the drivers, as Cole Day was the bubble driver coming in. Right now, Cole Day is being scored back into the 12th position. And the driver that was just on the outside of that bubble line was going to be that number 61 of Dalton Williamson. And Williamson will restart 13th. So 12th for Day, 13th for Williamson. Joshua Buckley also right there within that bubble striking zone. He is being scored 14th. Tony Strano, the other driver on the bubble line, that's just on the outside looking in. He's back in 21st. Sean Butler on the bubble also. He's up running inside the top 5 here on this restart. Same with Sean Single. He's having himself a run here that, well, he's got fresh tires, so he'll restart 10th. So everybody that's inside the top 12 here tonight having themselves a decent run, but Cole Day is the only driver outside the top 10. We'll come back. It'll be a green-white checker here. Green flag coming, 2 laps to go. Green back up, growing, racing once again. Murdoch, 1 driver way to the inside there. That's the 42 of Max Terriel. He'll go down. He's on the apron. He'll have to lift. Sean Butler was down there also. So was James Skelton. 3 wide. Here comes the 62 of Troutman. He's trying to deliver some pizza. 4 wide. 4 wide and 1 up into the outside wall. That was the 51 of DJ Anderson. Look at it. Oh, boy. Oh, bumper cars. Ryan O'Donnell was up in. No, Bennett into the outside wall. Will they get back to the white flag? Here comes Max Terriel. He's got fresh tires. He's now in 4th. Coming to take the white flag. Well, cars, trucks around. We will not make the white flag. Caution lights are on. Caution lights are on. DJ Anderson. So green-white checker attempt. That was not. We would have ended that one under regulation. So DJ Anderson around. Off turn 4. There you see some contact. Single and Murdoch got sideways into each other, and then DJ Anderson spinning through the grass. Zero 1 of Richard Murdoch also involved. Everybody actually hung on to that pretty well, especially for it being in the middle of that pack. See the contact. Ryan O'Donnell just getting through with the skin of his teeth. Joshua Buckley involved. Dalton Williamson having to go to the grass. You see the Valvoline number 61. A lot of damage to him also. Looking at down the back straightaway. Ryan O'Donnell making some contact with Souza. Let's ride on board here. Talk about close. That's how close that was for Ryan O'Donnell to be involved in that one. There were 4 wide all through the field. So the driver that didn't want to see that was going to be the 88 of Sean Butler, because Butler had the race lead coming to the white flag. He was less than 100 yards from picking up the white flag here tonight, and that would have left him sailing off into the sunset if he could run away from James Skellin, Ethan Troutman, and Max Terriot. Terriot was the driver that pitted on lap number 61 when the caution flag came out. Under that last caution flag, that is. He got himself all the way up to 4th in a lap and a half. So he should restart in the second row. Joe Strano still holding on. Jeffrey Souza, Ryan O'Donnell in 7th. Sean Single in 8th. Chris Hammett 9th. Craig Schwartz in 10th. Caution lights are out. We're ready to go back racing here again. Attempt number 2. Possibly. A couple drivers you can tell low on fuel. There is Troutman down on the bottom side of the Speedway in the Greg's Pizza entry. Driver out of Tennessee. He took our Turn 3 Racing koozie to the Bristol Motor Speedway when they just raced there on dirt. We got his photo late, so we didn't get it up onto the interwebs of the social media sites. But we do have it, and we're going to see if we can throw something together. A special little thank you to everybody who has taken us places, whether it's been fishing, whether it's been to the mountains, to the races. I think we even have somebody submitted one from the horse racing track. Wasn't Troutman, though. He's taken us to Bristol numerous times. So everybody's scattered through the field, but we should go racing this time. It'll be another green-white checker after the 3rd caution flag of the evening. We'll see if your top 3 have enough fuel to make it back for this green-white checker. iRacing.com official pace car off the racing surface, ready to go. Green flag's up, everybody. You come through the gearbox. Max Terriot trying to go to the outside to make it 3 wide. We've seen the outside work, but not the extreme outside here. Can Max Terriot on those 4 fresh tires power move around the Cayman boat sideways for Schwartz? Schwartz just got sideways, and that truck go crashing down the back straightaway. Rob Higgins going for a ride. Put us under the caution flag once again. So we'll take a look back here at this caution flag in just a second here. It is involving Rob Higgins. Let's take a look back here. There you see the Macho Man of Murdoch up the Speedway off turn number 2. We'll get into the number 40 of Rob Higgins, sending Higgins around down the back straightaway. Murdoch getting put to the back of the field after the last caution flag on that green-white checker off turn number 4. Take a look at it. Murdoch just slides up the Speedway. Sparks just ahead of them. That was Ryan O'Donnell into the fence. And just a solo spin there. I'm sure the Macho Man was slapping into another Slim Jim after that one. We'll see if he can... Oh, yeah. Rob, you got to go the other way, my man. Got to go the other way. Trust me. So Rob gets it gathered back up, and he'll get it pointed back into the right direction. He'll have to restart those, scored back into about the 19th position. But I believe we have a driver standing by here. Let's see if we can catch a word with the driver of the number 8 machine, who's down on pit road. Let's see. Zach Mitchell, you still got your ears on?
I do.
Well, Zach, a night that looked like it was going to be good, coming to get the white flag, or the last couple laps to get that white flag, and all of a sudden the 8 trucks down on pit road. What happened?
Yeah, it was a good night for the 4X racing machine. I qualified well. I don't like this track. I don't like this car, and took a gamble with 2 tires, and then the caution came out, and I wasn't paying attention, and I shifted into second gear instead of going into fourth gear down the back straightaway.
So when you shift like that, do things go kaboom?
They went kaboom, and I thought to myself, oh boy. And then my teammates radioed up in the radio chat and asked if they saw what they thought they saw, and I said yes. And I will go hide and cover until next week.
So, well, you had a truck that looked really fast here tonight. Is kind of the positive thing here. You're locked in. So tonight's race not going to affect you really on points as you have that win to fall back onto.
Oh yeah, and that's exactly why me and Chris for sure from 4X we were debating on taking 4 tires, and I volunteered to be the test dummy for the other 3 because we have already won, so there's nothing else. We're just trying different strategies for the playoff time. But it was nice to know that I probably had this race won, depending on what Max's pace was there those last couple laps.
Well, a tough one for you here tonight. We look forward to seeing you next week at Las Vegas.
Thank you.
So a missed shift there by Zach Mitchell will put him out of this race here tonight. But I do believe we should see the 1 to go symbol this time from our flagger. That will put us into our... What are we at? The second overtime? I believe we're going to call this as the second overtime. So it will be Sean Butler, Max Tarrant, the driver that has the 4 fresh tires, will start in second. Third then will be James Skelton, Jeffrey Souza, also on 4 fresh tires. He will restart in fourth. Then it's Chris Hammett, Joe Strano. So the outside lane here, all 3 trucks there that are on the outside of Terriot, Souza, and Hammett, they all have fresh tires. Or at this point, we should say just fresh tires, because they do have at least a couple heat cycles built up in them. Sometimes once we get those heat cycles built up in the tires, they just aren't as sticky as they would like. Couple stragglers back there catching the tail of the field. That is Rob Higgins, Brandon Feeney, and Richard Murdoch. One driver down below there, it looks like running low on fuel. Could be the 31 of Bennett. So we'll see who has enough fuel to get to the end of this one. Can we get back without wrecking the rest of the trucks? A lot of these trucks having damage here. Only 4 yellows here tonight, but a lot of them sustaining damage. Butler, Terriot, Skelton, Souza, Strano, Hammett, Schwartz, Trevarthen, O'Donnell, and Day. That's the top 10. A green flag in the air, racing again here at Auto Club. Schwartz trying to go to the inside here to make a 3-wide attempt move. He'll get to the quarter panel with the number 43 of Joe Strano. Schwartz with the fresher tires of the 2. Sean Butler with a little bit of a wiggle, and he'll slide up. Max Tarrant going to crossover off turn 2. We'll be side by side. Terriot with those fresh tires. Remember, here comes James Skelton trying to fill the void. Souza still to the outside. Will we see the white flag this time off turn number 4? We will. Everybody keeps it pointed. White flag is in the air. This one will go official. First one back to the line will win here tonight at the Auto Club Speedway. Here comes the 88 sideways for Max. Max was sideways for the race lead as Butler got into the back end of the 42. Max up the Speedway. He'll lose the race lead. He'll lose 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 positions by the end of this one. Race is now down the back straightaway. Here comes Jeffrey Souza. He's on the back end of the 88. He just saw what Butler was willing to do for a win. Will he be able to put the front bumper to him? He'll go top shelf. Here comes Chris Hammett. Out of turn 4. Hammett will push. Now here comes that 6, the 4, the drag race to the finish. It will be the 88 of Sean Butler coming to the line. Second will go to Jeffrey Souza, Chris Hammett, Joe Strano, James Skelton is how they will come across the line. Max Terriot showing his displeasure with the 88 of Sean Butler. Those two drivers racing for a very long time together. And Butler gonna move the 42 for a victory here tonight. So as Sean Butler will pick up the win. It's Butler, it's Souza, it's Hammett, Strano, Skelton, Terriot, Troutman, Day, Fernandez, and Single. O'Donnell, Schwartz, Bennett, Murdoch, Tony Strano, Bob Higgins, DJ Anderson, Rob Higgins, Brandon Feeney, Michael Trevarthen, Joshua Buckley, Dalton Williamson, Zach Mitchell, Jason Wells, Kevin O'Brien, and Dustin Gainey, along with Tim Williams, rounding out the field. So there's your winner here tonight as he parks it on the front straightaway. Sean Butler picking up the win. It's been a while since Butler's gone to victory lane, but he'll do the donuts, and we'll talk to him in the Liquid Moly post-race show right after this.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was always fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos or danger until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all will be kept in the pits. Not to mention that with members in over 130 countries already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series and work your way up to one of 7 world championships, offering over $500,000 in prize money. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Welcome back here, race fans, to the Virtual Auto Club Speedway. After a thrilling finish here in California, the hills in the background are an exciting thing to watch, but so was the speed and the trucks and, well, the sparks here tonight on the Speedway. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get the Liquid Moly post-race show going here tonight. Let's head down trackside and talk to the winner of this one. He drives the 88. Sean, you back in victory lane here with Red Light Racing after a very long dry spell.
Yeah, not the way I'd like to get back into victory lane there. I mean, my gosh, I had such a run from Souza pushing me down the straightaway. Wow, I thought Max checked up there at the last second, but I was going 4 miles an hour faster than him going into the corner. That's why I just misjudged it a little bit. But yeah, eventful night. If that got one more green white checker, I definitely would have had to pit for fuel. So it was a long night, but back in victory lane after just a crappy season so far. I'm either up front or getting wrecked. So happy to be back and glad to be back here running full time finally.
You're in the trucks here tonight at Auto Club. These trucks, a lot of downforce. Was there any, how do you say, how was the big sucker hole with these trucks down the straightaways? You talked about the big run you had from Souza, but how was just drafting back to the pack here? Because these trucks all got separated at one point, and then all of a sudden at the end of the long run, they were all back together.
Yeah, I mean, it really came down to just saving the tires a little bit, and then I think the guys up front kind of came back to all of us because we were just kind of running and saving tires in the back there on that first run. And then I don't know how the heck we came out from 12th to 6th, but we did. And then me and Max and Ethan drafted right up to the front pack after about 8-9 laps finally, and then it was the same thing. You got up there, and it was kind of hard to pass without drafting help. It was just, you'd get some good runs and stuff. It just depends on how you were getting the draft, and then where the truck was in front of you and what they were doing and stuff. But it was definitely you could have seen a lot more people pull out, but I think they didn't. They were just happy, content riding for a while.
Well, you picked up the big W here tonight, so you're going to jump from all the way in the 11th overall points spot to now being officially locked in. How does that feel going to Las Vegas?
It feels good. Like I said, it's been feast or famine this season. I seem like I run up front or I've been wrecked. That's been my races this year, and unfortunately, didn't get into victory lane like I was hoping to, but I'm here, and I know Max is upset, and I apologize. And if you watch the replay, I barely touched him. It was so close to just missing him, and stuff like that's going to happen when you're running this close at the end on second green, white checkered and stuff. So it is what it is. But looking forward to the rest of the season. I think you'll see the same players up front at Vegas. It's going to be the same thing. Each tire's there, so it's going to be the same thing as this place. You got to save your tires to be fast in the long run.
Well, before we let you go, there's one more thing left, and that's the red carpet rolling out here for you tonight. As if I can read the stat book right, this is win number 41 overall for you in the series. Who do you got to thank for your 41st victory?
I got to thank my teammate DJ. We've been practicing a lot this season, just try to get me back on track with missing pretty much the last 2 full seasons, and tires have changed a lot and stuff, and I feel like the tires have more to my liking, even though I seem that I can't qualify these damn things for some reason. But when it comes to race and stuff, I seem to be pretty good. So thank DJ for helping me with all that, and then thank the guys at Red Light, putting all these on. Thank you up in the booth and all the fans out there. Look forward to coming back and racing next week.
There you heard it. That was the 88 of Sean Butler. He is your winner here tonight after an exciting one here at the Auto Club Speedway. The driver that will finish second, though. Well, Souza, it was an eventful one from you, right from the drop of the green flag here, involved in a first little lap scuffle, and then you battle back here all the way to second at the Checkered.
Yeah, I don't know how we did, but it worked. We were really good early there. Did a great job getting through the field with qualifying. Obviously, we messed up that, but did a great job getting up there early. Had some contact with someone on pit entry there, sadly, but dropped us back, and then got lucky with a caution. We'll take a second.
After the eventful day you had, I would say that second is almost like a win. But this truck was locked onto the outside groove, and it looked like it was on a rail out there. Was there a lot of grip built up on that outside?
Yeah, I worked. I ran a race here with these trucks last week, just kind of to test. I bought a new wheel last week, so to work out that stuff, and then just learn what I could do here tire wise and what would work. And I really didn't feel like there was much of a difference running the outside versus running the inside tire wear wise. So it was a little bit better runs off the turn. Obviously, you guys saw that from the booth. So I said, if I'm not going to wear the tires more, I'm not going to lose time running the outside like I was. I might as well run up there, get what I can, then fall in line. And that's what we did there.
So a great run here tonight. When you look at the point standings, you're going to leapfrog Richard Murdoch and Sean Single. So you're going to have a little breathing room headed now into Las Vegas. What's the game plan going forward to try to lock ourselves in without picking up a win?
Yeah, it's, I'm one of my best cars is the next gen. That's what I run weekly. So, I think it's going to be a interesting race, to say the least. It's going to be a lot of, at least for the first part of the run, there's probably going to be a decent amount of draft pack racing, and then, you'll see tire wear probably the last half of the run. So I'm looking forward to it. I think qualifying is going to be important, getting that track position like tonight was. And once we get up there, I think we should be good enough to stay there, just based on the last couple weeks, what we've been able to do. So, last couple of races, I think we've had chances to win races, and just things haven't worked out for us. And
I think if I wouldn't have had some damage there from that instant off turn 4 towards the end, I think I would have probably had a chance to grab Sean there. But it is what it is. You take a second place, move on to Vegas.
That's right, Las Vegas next week. We look forward to seeing this 4 machine out there in the desert. But before we let you go, who's back home and on the side of this number 4?
Yeah, I got to thank Sousa Media, obviously, for all the work they do helping out with sessions and such. Triad Racing, everyone over there that helps out. The last couple weeks, I've kind of had a revolving door of help with spotting for me and stuff like that, and it's been fun. I had Jonathan on the booth for me last week. I had Brandon, my usual guy, back. He's moving, but he's back up there for me this week and next week. So looking to get a good, strong run with them before we end up going to the playoffs there. I think we're going to be strong once we do get to the playoffs.
There you hear it. Jeffrey Sousa tonight will pick up 10 spots after an early scuffle on lap number 1. He'll finish in P number 2. That leaves one person left in our Liquid Motley post-race show. And, well, Chris, it didn't look like the fastest truck out onto the Speedway tonight, but it is good enough at the end of it for a third.
Yeah, definitely out-qualified ourselves there a little bit. Was not expecting to get the pole. California is not one of my favorite racetracks. These 2-mile tracks do give me a little bit of a problem. So I knew we kind of out-qualified ourselves there. It just seems like we lost some spots there on that first pit stop. I think just too many cars came in at one time, and that kind of choked up pit road. And short pitted there to try to gain some of that back on the second stop, and then got caught a lap down and had to take the wave and all that. And then tried some more pit strategy, taking 2 there on what we thought was going to be our last stop, and that did not work. So when we had those green-white checkers there, came down and put 4 on it just to try to go on offense. Man, I really thought I had a shot at him taking the white. I lifted a little bit there when Sean and Max got together because I didn't know what they were going to do. And if I didn't lift there, maybe if I could have cleared Sousa off of 2 and got a big run off of Butler down the backstretch, maybe would have had something for him. But not one of my favorite tracks. But hey, I'll take third. We got some good momentum here going into the playoffs, so really happy about that. And we'll take it and move on to Vegas.
Yeah, you're locked in. You're in the playoffs, so no matter what happened here tonight, you will race in at least the first round of that playoff. So next week, Vegas. Do we just go out and send it?
I mean, yeah, nothing to lose, right? Definitely want to try to get some work in with Ryan and Sean. I know Sean's pretty close on points. I think Ryan probably needs a win so we can get all of our 4X cars in there. So definitely going to try to do what we can to help them learn as much as possible. To try to get as many of us there. Much of us in the first round locked in as possible. So, I like Vegas. I like the next gen. It's a little tricky. It's kind of track to track for me. But we'll let it hang out. Definitely try to get some work in for the first round here, so we can make sure we make our way back to the championship 4.
Well, we look forward to seeing what you can do next week. Before we let you go, who's back home in Maryland?
Yes, Maryland. Thank you for getting that right, Roger. Obviously, I got to thank my awesome girlfriend, Ashley, for letting me come hide back here for a couple hours. I love you, baby. Obviously, thank everybody at 4X Racing, Zach, Ryan, and Sean. I think we're having a great year as a team. I really thought we had a win locked up there with Zach, and then the caution came out, and then he blew his own motor up. So that was really awesome for him. And I know Sean and Ryan, I think, got caught up in some of the green-white checkered melee. And took away some good runs for them. But still really, really proud of our team. First year working together and how well we've all run. Obviously, shout out to the admins, Josh, James, and Richard for putting this series on. It's so much fun. You, Roger, for broadcasting this stuff. Bob Higgins, Checker Flag Auto Supply, for sponsoring this and keeping us rolling. So got to thank all those people. Like I said, we had a good run tonight, carrying a lot of good momentum into the playoffs, which is always good to come in that on a high note, and hope to keep this thing rolling.
There you hear it. Chris Hammett will round down the top podium finishers tonight after some overtime needed here to finish things off here at the Virtual Auto Club Speedway. Where does that leave us? Well, that leaves us headed to, Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas will be the last round, or last race of the regular season before we head to the first round of the playoffs. So until we see you in Las Vegas, race fans, it was Sean Butler, Jeffrey Sousa, Chris Hammett, 1, 2, and 3 across the line. We hope you enjoyed tonight's show here from the Virtual Auto Club Speedway. We'll see you at the Virtual Las Vegas Motor Speedway 1 week from now. So for everybody at Red Light Racing, everybody with the Checkered Flag Auto Supply, and all of us here at the Turn 3 Racing Network, my name's Roger Muth, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's show here from Auto Club.